Hi-ho, Keegan the Vlog here. Welcome to another installment of DMC Wrench Time. Today we are tackling the clutch on the DeLorean. The clutch itself is actually fine. What's happening is the pilot bearing and the throwout bearing are both making noise. So we've got main seal gasket, the main seal, a pilot bearing, a throwout bearing, the clutch itself, and actually this is a linkage piece that is incorrect on the car right now. So we're just going to change that out while we're in here. Okay, you can probably hear that clicking sound. I think that is coming from the number 4 cylinder exhaust port. We ordered a stage 1 exhaust that should be here in a couple days. That'll give us plenty of time to get the transmission out. It's just much easier to replace the exhaust system with the transmission out of the car, especially on the backside with the crossover pipe and stuff like that. So in order to fix that exhaust leak, the gasket has to be changed, which means the manifolds have to come off, which means everything else has to come off. So while you're in there, we got the procedure here, we've got the parts here, we've got the exhaust system on the way. Let's get into it. Off, lights off, batteries disconnected. We're gonna go ahead and close the doors because this is going up on the lift. Lifting a DeLorean is actually really easy because all 4 corners are a jack point. Give a nice little shake there, make sure everything's cool. Okay, before we get into this project, I want to do a quick note so I mitigate all the comments about the frame corrosion. Yeah, we got lots of frame corrosion. Been dealing with it for the entire life of the car that I've owned it. This spot I did not find until a little bit later because there's a shield that goes over this spot that I had not removed, and once I removed that, I found this. So at that point, that was probably 10 years ago at this point, we did grind it down as best we could, paint it in pour 15 to stave off further rot. It's not as bad on this side, but it certainly is there. So the places that we have addressed, the whole bottom section here has basically been remanufactured. That was done by Chris Wallace at Tachyon Performance in Louisville, Kentucky. This was done by PJ Grady about 15 years ago. So the front is good. We are actually going to separate the body from the frame. We're going to do that when the Triumph is done. So this is going to be the big project for when the Triumph is finished. We're going to get under here and practice our welding skills. We're gonna fix this. This is just 16 gauge steel. So this should not be too terribly difficult. In fact, all the dimensions for these individual pieces are in the shop manual. So we may be replacing entire sections of this, not just patching it in. Without further ado, let's get into it. Going on to the clutch slave cylinder and the extension coming all the way down to underneath so you can get a swing on it. That's how you do it. But this appears to be much easier than trying to bleed this. I can't even see the bleed screw on it. I know where it is because I can see it on the parts diagram, but I can't actually see it from here. So okay, we're to removing the linkage bracket. So there's what you can see of the linkage bracket. It's up on top there. And if you look, you can see right there, they are through bolts. There are no nuts on it, which means that we have to get to it from this side. Good time. So I got a socket on that side. There's one underneath there. So let's see what we can do. The procedure is to lift the transmission so you can get access to these holes here, which there are supposed to be, or there were bolts in. The procedure says they're not going back in. So this has already had a clutch job done at some point in the past, which means right here, there's a hole. So it's out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't have to remove those because somebody's already done that in the past.
Thank you.
Hey.
Oh, is this a Triumph?
It's a TR12. Man, I don't know that these bolts were on tight. I mean, there was nothing on that one.
Yeah. Didn't even look, never hit the clutch once.
Nope.
It's
Oh, look at that.
Oh, what happened? So we got it off?
Sheared it.
Yeah, it'll come
We'll
off
get it
then.
out. We'll drill it out.
See the
So, but that's
one that isn't sheared. See, I'm over here trying to make a film. You know, I'm trying to tell a story. You know.
You don't get your fingers
Yep. It's stuck on the bracket here. There we go. Wait. There it goes. Clear.
Okay.
Yep.
These lines are free. Slave seal is free. Nice job, fellas.
Well, there's some reason it was so hard.
So coolant right here.
It's a hose right there.
Yeah, it's just a hose clamped.
You might be able to get that bolt out.
Right here.
So
that valve.
all right, the next step is to insert a clutch alignment tool and then remove the pressure plate and the clutch and the flywheel. I've got a plethora of clutch alignment tools, but none fit this one. So doing a little bit of research, this is an odd duck even for Renault. Ordered one, but we're gonna go ahead and take it off without the alignment tool. Okay.
Ready? Very nice stuff.
There it is. There it is.
Does it look pretty worn?
I mean, it's not worn, but there's still plenty of material on it.
There is.
Wow. Okay, that should not have happened.
What?
I just pulled the pilot bearing out with my finger.
Well, maybe.
I believe this flywheel is indexed by the bolts. It only goes on one way, I believe. Oh yeah, there it is. All right. So we're into this thing, a few things that has to happen later on in the process before we put this back together. We've got to get that bolt out. So that broke when we were taking it off. Now, interesting situation here. This bolt, and this bolt felt like they were on basically hand tight. Didn't even hit the clutch on the impact gun when it came out, which was a little concerning. And this one is seized like nobody's business. So there is just some weirdness going on with this whole situation. This pilot bearing coming out with my finger, thing not being bolted up right. Very simple objective today is to see if we can get this bolt out without further damaging anything up here. So let's get into it. Hey, day 3 of the clutch slash exhaust slash transmission job. So we still haven't gotten that bolt out. This bolt right here. Man, we went at it yesterday. We welded nuts to it. We welded steel to it. We heated it up with MAP. We did all sorts of stuff to it. It does not move. I really hate to drill that out, especially with so much of it protruding. It really just seems like we should be able to get that to come out. We made arrangements to have the case, the transmission itself, bead blasted to clean it up before we take it apart, along with a few of the parts. So right now we're just going to, we're gonna drain it. Pretty clean gear oil, like it. I think that settles it. Just drill it. The stud sheared off further down this time. All right, so that bolt sheared off further down the stud this time. So our weld held. But this is not coming out. It is what it is. We're gonna drill it. You can kind of make out the edge of what's left of the...
Yeah, I can see.
I'm just kind of going around with the drill bit like that, just trying to get...
I'm just kind of going around with the drill bit like